All right, chat. So we got a lot of topics to talk about today. The first one I want to talk about is easy inputs within fighting games. Now, when people talk about fighting games developers trying to make games more accessible to players, people really focus and hone in on two things: the lessening of executional barriers and the simplification of game mechanics. Of course, by now people know along with this, there's a few other ways that game developers try to simplify or make games more accessible to players, and that is increasing damage and, of course, making inputs easier. So today we're going to be talking about easy inputs for fighting games and how they are to be received, or how we can receive them. How are they good? Are they bad? What can we take away? What are the cons and pros of this whole thing? Let's go and talk about it. So chat, I always found this conversation extremely interesting because people always bring up the point of you lose the individuality when it comes to player expression when you simplify inputs, because when people think about simplification of inputs, they mainly think about the executional barrier. But there also are other simplification of inputs that are also making things easier for players. For example, Super Dash inside of Dragon Ball, making things a little bit easier as far as moving to the screen. Or now we have dash macros where you can back dash and forward dash without having to go forward and back and stuff like that. Even in Melty Blood, which always been in there in Melty Blood, but you can press A and B to dash forward rather than, you know, pressing forward in the air and stuff like that. So it makes things a lot more easier when it comes to even movement in these games now with these simplifications of inputs. But the thing that people are talking about here is the player expression of the combo difference that you could do because of how hard the combos were back then with these like one frame links. So just show you an example with this Evil Ryu combo back in Ultra Street Fighter 4, if you remember these days, these for you 13ers out there, 09ers. So yeah, these are some one frame link combos that this man is doing, some pretty advanced stuff. I don't know how many parts are one frame links in this. I don't know. I think the FADC parts are the one frame links, so pretty hard to do consistently. But you know, there are players out there that will go for these type of combos in tournament a lot, right? So you'll see these type of combos. However, if you take a game like Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, you rarely see the difference of combos when the best combo a person can do is HEX, HEX, H super, right? It's like, I think everybody and their mother could do that one. And this is not even a knock on Grand Blue, because Grand Blue has a great system in play for making easy inputs something that is accessible, but also making it to where it's almost a gamification within the game itself, right? So you have, of course, the cooldown meters. So you are rewarded for doing the regular inputs in this game. We take DNF, for example, as well. There's all easy inputs in that game as well. And people are like, you know, starting to feel like, oh, there can be death inside the game. So people are looking at this game as like, oh, there's no swag combos. Combo limit always messing with me or whatever. And people are almost sort of putting the... just because HEX is like super big in this game, almost like a downside of the ability of what this genre can actually bring, or what this style of game can bring. We see in DNF that you can have cool combos when you actually do it properly, or when you have that type of game. This wasn't that type of game. This is more like sort of a Street Fighter where, like, you know, you get the big hits and you get the big damage, very easy confirm or whatever like that. You get the, you know, single hit confirms into the super, very slower game. And DNF is almost a slower game. There's no crazy air dash and stuff, but they wanted to make the game, when you get in or when stuff is happening, they wanted to be absolutely insane. That's the crazy part about DNF. So a lot of you may not know about this game, by the way. This game is actually godlike. It has rollback and full crossplay on all platforms. Actually godlike. Touch of death's all over the place though. Everything is touch of death in this game, by the way. It's absolutely crazy. But this game actually uses easy inputs for all of its special moves, and the combo depth in this game is ridiculous. The amount of combos you can do at your disposal, like the different combos you can have, you know, you can do all different types of combos in an assist-based game. So you can have combo death inside of the game. By the way, I do want to put a disclaimer that combo death is not game death. That is one thing that people fail to realize or try to put together. They think like, oh, this game doesn't have combo complexity, therefore this game cannot be deep. No. Games can definitely get way more deeper than what the combo system has to offer. It's not all about the combo system and not all about the execution. There's so much more in the fighting games, so much more into like the mechanics and stuff. Mechanics can truly drive a game, despite there being a lack of combo potentiality difference that you see from players. Even though that is something I understand and is a fair argument for people to make when you see people that play certain characters, especially like, you know, you see the color and you see the combos you're doing, you probably know who that player is. Oh, that's that's a pink gen. Oh, they going for combos like that. Oh, that's got to be Fenris. You know, you just put 2 to 2 together and you can sort of just know the type of player that's there because of the execution that you see this player is doing. But when that is there, say people lack the expression, and of course people can't tell who is who, right? So overall, my main point here is that Project L is in good hands, right? Obviously it's the Cannon brothers is making a game, but a lot of people are worried about the simple inputs in the game, and I think people are obviously writing off this new accessibility of simple inputs a little too early. Games like this can have extremely high def when it comes to the mechanical aspects of the game and what just overall what the game has to offer as far as its gameplay. Maybe not the executional heavy games, but the individuality of what people are talking about, the player expression can be there. It can be there as shown inside of Power Rangers, right? It can be there. The game can have other depths. It can have huge mechanical depth and stuff like that. So even though the execution may be getting easier, you can still have the expression there as far as what different things you could do. And especially since this is going to be a team-based game, I feel like it access to it being a little bit more easier to have that expression, because not everybody's going to be playing the same team, right? So that allows you to do different things. Maybe, yeah, you are playing the same front character, but your assist character is different, so you're going to be doing a lot different combos than the other person. Rather than it being a 1v1 game, then maybe you may start seeing a little bit more of the same thing, especially if it, you know, you're doing the optimal routes and stuff with different characters, different assists. You start to see a little bit more individuality, and so that's why I think even in Power Rangers you get a little bit of that difference and ability of what characters can do and the difference of combos and stuff like that, because every assist is going to work different, and so every assist is going to make it to where you are doing different things. So basically, let's not write out the system too fast, man. I think obviously we are in this new age of accessibility, which I think is okay. Really, I think we can actually find a unique balance so we don't have to go back to the old Ultra Street Fighter 4 days where everything is one frame links. And even though, you know, it's very rewarding and cool for like you to be able to do card combos and stuff like that, we are in this new age where the developers are trying to get these new people in, but there's still stuff to be had for the actual veteran players. I'm not talking about a game or a developer that is trying to oversimplify the game to where there's nothing there on both sides, so where, like, you know, the veterans have nothing to learn and it's super easy for the like new players, so the veterans are just beating the new players. No, I'm talking about a game that basically has that ease of use to pick up, but also has that high mechanical depth that allows for more player expression down the line if the person playing the game wants to go and actually find those things within the game. I think that is the perfect thing. Have that accessibility there, but also have the mechanical and gameplay depth, so players who want to pursue further into fighting games can actually go that route if they want to be try to become a better player, and I don't know, even a top player, Evo champion if it will be, if they want. So yeah, I think that is the route fighting games going, and I don't think it's a bad route at all. Games need to be focused on fun and cool shit first. Yeah, for real, man. Like I always say, games can definitely have a sense where new players will want to do the cool shit eventually, right? They see things there, you know, they'll match their auto combo or whatever, but when they actually see the game at like a higher level, they're like, hey, I want to just do that cool shit, right? I want to do the cool thing that this person is doing. Let me take it to another level. We don't have to make the game only this, right? We don't have to take away this player expression, even though we have simple inputs and stuff like that. We don't have to take away the different combo routes and stuff that you can do for your characters to try to have a sense of like, this is my individuality. We don't have to take that away. We can have that player expression there for players to try to go to, because eventually they'll want to do it. If they care about fighting games, if they love the game enough, eventually players will try to pursue that. It's just the inevitability, right? People want to do cool things, and that's just the way it is. But as always, boys, of course, this is a YouTube video as well, so the people in the YouTubes that are watching, let me know how you guys feel about this topic, man. How do you guys feel about player expression? How do you guys feel about simple inputs inside of fighting games? How do you guys feel about just the overall way, the direction that most fighting games are going as far as this accessibility route? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and how you guys feel about my thoughts about it as well. Always like try to jump in the comments and read and try to have engaging discussions with you all. Anyway, for the YouTube fam, if you like anything I have to say, drop me a like, I greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, follow my socials. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn notifications so you know the next video goes live. As always, my name is Dyken, and I'll see you next time. Signing out.